of the country. For example, today most people living in the Andaman Island eat their own food by fishing, hunting, and collecting forest produce. By contrast, most people living in cities depend on others for supplies food. Difference such as existed in the past as well. Besides, there is another kind of difference. We know a great deal about kings and the battle they fought because they kept records of their victories. Generally, ordinary people such as hunters, fishing folk, gatherers, farmers, or hundreds did not keep records of what they did. While archaeologists helps to find out about their lives, there is so much that remains unknown. No. How do we explain diversity? Diversity मतलब विविधता जो किस तरीके से explain कर सकते हैं. A little more than 200 years ago or long before the train. How do we explain diversity? A little more than 200 years ago or long before the train, aeroplane, bus, or car become a part of our lives. How do we explain diversity? A little more than 200 years ago or long before the train, aeroplane, bus, or car become a part of our lives. People traveled from one parts of the world to another in ships, on horses, on camels, or on foot. At least there are three different ways in which people in India do the following. One of the possible answer has been provided for you already. Often they went in search of new lands or new palace to settle in our or for people to trade with, and because it took so long to travel, once they got to palace, people stayed there often for a long time. Many others left their homes because there were familiars and drought, and they could not get enough to eat. Some went in search of work, while others left because there was a war. Sometimes, as they began to make their homes in new palace, people began to change a little, and or at other times, or they managed to do things in the old ways, so their language, food, musicians, religions become a mix of the old and new, and out of this intermixing of culture come something new and different. The history of many places shows as how many different cultural influences have developed to shape life and culture there. Thus, religions become very diverse because of their unique histories. Similarly, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical area in which they live. For example, living near the seas is quite different from living in a mountains area. Not only do people have a different clothing and eating habits, but even the kind of work they do are different. In cities, it is often easy to forget how closely people's lives are tied to their physical surroundings. This is because in the cities, people seldom grow their own vegetables and grain. Instead, they depend on the market to buy all the food and other goods that they need. Let's try to understand what we mean when we say that historical and geographical factors influences the diversity of regions. We can do this by reading about life in the two different parts of the country, Kerala and Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here since the region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a largest part of the year. There are very few trees that can grow in the regions or drinking water. People depend on melting snow during the summer month. The people here keep sheep and the sheep is in these regions are special because they produce pashmina wool. This wool is a period and pashmina shawls cost a lot of money. The people in the Ladakh carefully collect the wool of the sheep and sell these to traders from Kashmir. Pashmina shawls and shivni woven in Kashmir. People eat meat and milk products like cheese and butters. Each family owns some goats, cows, and cows, yak, crows, being a dessert. Did not mean that Ladakh did not attract its share of traders. It was considered a good trade route as it had many bases trade routes as it had many bases through while caravans traveled or to what is today cultivated. These caravans carried textile and spices, raw silk and carpets.